Got a replay here from me and Tactical Lich on the beta patch. I'm sure you are all live by the time this comes out. We're checking out Bretonnia, seeing how those nerfs feel. We took all three of the potentially problematic knights. We have the Grail Knights, Grail Guardians, Royal Hippogriff Knights, Lewin, and then a Damsel of Life with healing and regrowth. 3 Peasant Bowmen, mix of fire and poison arrows, and then some Men-at-Arms, Pole Arms, and a couple Peasant Mobs. So pretty small Bretonnian army. For Tactical Lich, we have an unholy abomination of Beastmen monsters. We have 2 Minotaurs with great weapons. We have the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts, a Traitorkin caster, a Gorbel, what is that? A Beast Lord basic with his 2 different buffs, Apocalyptic Visions and Horn of the First Beast, a whole bunch of Ungor Spearman herds, some Gore herds, and then Harpies and Dogs for a little bit of disruption. Frontline fight is not going to go Bretonnia's way. Oh, there's some Zongors in there. Hello. Anyway, frontline fight is not going to go Bretonnia's way. Already one of my Men-at-Arms, Pole Arms, is pushed off. But the backline fight should go great for us as Grail Knights catch Harpies. And Grail Guardians catch Warhounds and more Harpies. Lewin and the Hippogriff Knights are trying to rear charge some of the frontline, get them routing, and free up my infantry to go to the backfield and try and help my archers out, who are now routing away from those Harpies. This is a bit of a problem. My Grail Guardians stuck in melee combat with all these forces. Now, thankfully for me, the Grail Guardians are the sit and fight type of cavalry unit with 58 melee defense. They will do okay, but still not really loving fighting the Incarnate Elemental Beast or all those Minotaurs. Lewin is sniping out the Beast Lord for a little bit. He has some Halberd support coming in to help him as the Hippogriff Knights move on to try and snipe out the caster. Though he is on foot, he will be rather hard to actually deal damage to. The Incarnate Elemental Beast is coming over to say hello to my Hippogriffs. Regular Grail Knights in the back finished off those Harpies, got some dogs to rout too. In the backfield, we have Peasant Archers and Polemen rallying. Men-at-Arms, Pole Arms, I guess. Grail Guardians getting a regrowth, still taking a lot of damage, especially from that Incarnate Elemental of Beasts AoE damage. Not loving that. And Peasant Mob's trying to stop the Gorbel from leaving, but he's going to go where he pleases. Lewin is hovering up in the sky right now. I think he wanted to get up and away from these Minotaurs, didn't want to really land on them just yet, but for now he's providing a bit of an AoE aura, just sitting up there waiting for the right time to strike. Hippogriffs are in now, doing a lot of damage to those Minos, who are not feeling great, and Lewin does need to land soon. I feel like he didn't sit up there for that long. I wonder if this save got corrupted. Nope, he's moving now. Alright, I actually did just leave him up there for that long like a dingus. Like a fool! Both Minos are routing now. Apocalyptic Vision's trying to buff up everybody, but a little late for those poor Minotaurs. Incarnate Elemental Beast is still waddling around. Big problem for me. On the live patch, I believe he's literally unbreakable. On the beta patch, he was technically able to rout, but his leadership is so high that he almost never did. Like, he's at 120 right now with all the buffs going on. Lewin is in a bad situation, surrounded by the Gorbel and the Incarnate Elemental, 2 anti-large armor-piercing duelists that are going to beat his ass. Meanwhile, my Knights are doing some cleanup. Grail Knights, Grail Guardians, Hippogriff Knights all chasing off these Minotaurs. Lewin does need to path out of here a little bit. The Gorbel even pushes him to that end. For the Beastmen, they have some infantry left, especially the Zongors. All 4 of their single entities. Some random chaff. Harpies also able to chase stuff down. For Bretonnia, my 3 elite knights are actually doing okay considering how far along in the game we are. We still have our caster too. Can the knights defeat the single entities? Let's find out as Lewin routes off these Minos with great weapons, and as they're routing, Grail Knights will chase them down. So Grail Knights, even after their nerfs, they can't just plow through infinite infantry all the time. They're still very deadly against large combatants. Which is, I guess, it is their role, so I'm happy that they aren't, terrible at it. I'm not against Elite Knights being good, I'm just against Elite Knights being good at literally everything. Ungor Spearman herds trying to fight, but my Royal Hippogriff Knights will break their charge defense, and then the Grail Guardians plus one should be able to rout them all off. Should is a keyword, as Traitorkin hits all of my Knights and Lewin. Ow, that was pretty painful. And the Beast Lord is out here doing his best. Bounce power's about even. Bretonnia getting run down a little bit here. My knights have all taken a lot of damage. Lewin is back in, charging a little bit. He just wants to distract stuff so that the Hippogriffs and the Grail Guardians and the Grail Knights can get in here and do things. I feel pretty confident with Lewin. He's rather tanky at this point in the game. Get some good shots onto the Beast Lord, fighting down the Incarnate Elemental Beast, and all the Knights pile in, trying to rout off these guys that the Zongors are holding. Very stalwart. The Incarnate Elemental also doesn't seem to give a single shit. Now Lewin will back off to regenerate a little bit. These Grail Knights and Grail Guardians continue to take damage from this big boy. Mortis Engine making him pay for himself with gusto. We did Terror out and rout one of the Spearmen. Almost got these Zongors, but then a Traderkin hits all three of my Knights. Lewin manages to dodge it. But I'm staying in for a little bit longer, trying to charge in with Lewin, just get Zongors to leave. And Grail Knights take a massive charge onto the Incarnate Elemental Beast, both sides trading a lot of damage there. Healing Cap has appeared for all four of my knightly units. And that Damsel's just chilling on the outside. We do have some Bretonnian infantry rallying. Some are coming back, others are just waiting to get their vigor returned to them. My knights now will peel away from the fight and chase down anything that has routed, while my pole arms take most of the heat for us and allow us to reform our ranks, maybe get some healing, maybe charge back in. Definitely don't let these Minotaurs get back to their leadership. Grail Knights will go charge them outright. Incarnate Elemental Beast almost dead. Lewin charges back in with the rear charge. He almost gets it to rout. Horn of the First Beast barely keeping that guy in this fight. And then he finally does rout. Once again in the live patch, he will actually be unbreakable. But in this game, he was mortal like the rest of us. His Mortis Engine is still proccing though, so I actually have to finish him off. And there we go. Without that constant Mortis, I am in a bit of a better spot, though I'm not really feeling so great. Hippogriff Knights are down to 3 models out of 12. Grail Guardians, half their models. Grail Knights, less than half. It's not feeling great. Yeah, another Traderkin hits all of us. Thankfully, that spell really doesn't do that much damage to cavalry. It just does good damage to single entities. Balance powers turning in my favor. Are pushing off some of these harpies. Still, the Gorbel, the Beast Lord, and the Traderkin caster are all chilling. I don't know what they have left to kill on my polemen at this point. Pole arms, whatever. Like, they are peasants, but they're nothing to scoff at. They have armor-piercing anti-large, which the Gorbel is large. Lewin's almost heal-capped himself. Grail Knights charging out to take care of dogs. Everything for the Beastmen is routing. We do need to go get those guys. Though, actually, for me, I missed that my Grail Guardians and my Hippogriff Knights had also routed. They are returning. Lewin tries to get away as the Grail Knights are just seeking down those doggos. Don't think they'll be able to catch them. 84 speed to 95. Yeah, the dogs should be fine. And the Gorbel tries to get charged onto my Grail Knights, but it's not going to happen. At this point, we are just trying to get our peasants to do most of the work. I realize the Gorbel is a little overextended, so I do dive in onto him. Earthblood trying to heal up the Grail Guardians, but another Traderkin catches Lewin and all the boys. I don't have the Lion Shield up right now to reduce any of that spell damage, though it honestly doesn't feel like it's doing a lot. Traderkin, I think it needs to be Overcast to really do very much. I feel like Traderkin and Flensing Ruin have both been very underwhelming on the latter half of the live patch and on the beta patch. They don't feel like the god killers they used to. Grail Knights and Grail Guardians once again routing. For the Grail Guardians, it means if they rout any more, they will actually shatter. And but the Grail Guardians have barely any healing left they can get. Grail Knights have a little bit. Lewin's heal capped. My big Knights are all rallying, but here is the real workhorse of the Bretonnians is just their peasants. Surrounding the Gorbel, gonna poke him down, poke the Beast Lord down, get one more Earthblood onto these Knights. Not that much it's honestly gonna do. But what can Beastmen do against such reckless peasants? Lewin will rout off the Harpies. No support for those 3 single entities of the Beastmen. Cannot be allowed. Some of our pole arm infantry are terror routing. They'll be back. Meanwhile, a final charge of the Bretonnian Knights back in. Looks like they're going for different targets. Hippogriffs are trying to hit the Gorbel, while the Grail Knights and Grail Guardians are going for the foot characters. Lewin is also back. Axe of Men is popped to make the Gorbel unbreakable, while the other 2 succumb to army losses. And Bretonnia stands firm. So, with healing being still super strong, as we all saw, I heal capped 4 different things. I mean, Lewin has his own healing, but still. With healing still being super strong, the Bretonnians will have a place in the meta. But their elite knights aren't feeling so god-tier amazing in the beta. They're just good. Hippogriffs, I don't remember if that pays for them or not. I don't remember if they're 2,000. Grail Guardians got a little bit more than their value, I think a couple hundred. And then Grail Knights got about 400 more than their value. So, and that's with heal capping them. So without healing, they're not nearly as broken overpowered. Still strong. Still strong. Not pretending they're not strong. But I think healing might be more of the issue rather than those knights at this point. Peasants and archers did well. For Tactical Lich, Beast Lord provided a lot of great buffs and honestly got good value back for himself just by being a support character. You wouldn't expect him to get 1300 value. Gorbel did really well. Incarnate Elemental Beast did fantastically. Mino's mixed. Not as good as you would expect. Trader King Caster, 3,100 value. Very, very good stuff for him. Zongors did fine. Dogs and Harpies did okay. Spearmen did fine. Very good game with Tactical Lich. Go check him out on YouTube. Just search Tactical Lich and you will find him. Roar!
Subscribe, yes, yes.